I'm John Mitchell. I want to talk about debt settlements. Now, debt settlement is one of those things that people will sometimes consider at the same time that they're considering filing for bankruptcy. Some people will try debt settlement before looking into bankruptcy. And I want to talk briefly about some of the myths and some of the realities. Now, debt settlement is generally a process where a company will take all of your debt and they will charge you a fee every month. And you pay a fee into a bank account that they use to negotiate your debts to make them all go away. The only problem is that there's a very low success rate in terms of being able to negotiate with all of your creditors to make all of your debts go away. So if you are considering debt settlement, it's worth asking what their success rates are, or how many cases 100% resolve themselves. That'll give you an idea on whether or not it's a viable alternative. One of the other things that's usually brought up is that to induce people to debt settlement is saying that bankruptcy will destroy your credit rating. Now, the fact is that if you're looking at debt settlement as an option or bankruptcy as an option, chances are you already have a very low credit score, and choosing either one would make no significant difference. However, debt settlement will have just as much of an impact on your credit score as anything else, because the way the process works is that you will not have your bills paid, because most debt settlement companies will not pay creditors in order to compel lawsuits to be filed, because it's believed sometimes that that provides a better bargaining position in terms of them wanting to negotiate to get rid of your debts. So one of the things that some people can find is that they'll get into a debt settlement plan and then suddenly they'll have lawsuits everywhere from all their creditors. Whether or not those get resolved by a debt settlement company is a separate issue as well. Now, one of the most important things to keep in mind is that there is certain tax liability with debt settlement. And this is not something that's usually brought up. But if you have a debt and you have a creditor agree to take less on that debt than what is owed, then they are basically writing off a certain amount of that debt. The problem is that with some creditors, not all of them, that write-off can be treated as income, because the credit companies, by getting a write-off, they get to take it off of their taxes. But if they do that, then you might receive a 1099 form that actually puts that debt onto your taxes. So, in other words, it is possible when you have a write-off of debt to receive a 1099 for that write-off that you're required to treat as income on your taxes. So, it's worth looking into what debt settlement can do for you and what it cannot do for you. Overall, you're looking at possible lawsuits, possible tax liabilities, and coming out at the other end without all of your debts eliminated anyway. Bankruptcy, however, offers a completely different set of alternatives that are worth discussing. If you have any questions, it's usually a good idea to have a consultation with a qualified bankruptcy attorney who can give you an idea of what you'd be looking at and what you can accomplish.